Hello everyone, welcome to my live stream. I am ready to finish this Chappie drawing. It's hard to say Chappie. It's Friday, so that's Chibi Friday for me. And this is also my last live stream for 4 weeks because I'm going on an adventure, a cruise around Japan starting next, we're leaving early Monday morning. So, it will be awesome if I can finish this piece today and go on my adventure feeling like there's no unfinished business. Oh, Exie, hello! How are you? Yay! Wow, you're always right there. I almost, I don't wanna put any pressure on you, but I almost like starting to rely on seeing you in the chat. How are you doing? How's your Friday been? Is it pretty much Saturday by now? I'm looking forward to Saturday. I think that I'm going to get the bulk of my trip prep done. So the rest of my packing and any other things like that. Oh, Exie says, I'm alright but tired. Thank you for asking. Oh, well, I hope that this will be a nice relaxing stream for you and then you can go to bed and sleep really well. How are you? I'm good. I'm so glad it's Friday. Today has been a weird Friday. Not a bad Friday, but just kind of weird. And I'm looking forward. Tonight is movie night. So we're going to watch this Korean movie that was filmed in the place that we're going to. So there's one stop in Korea, in South Korea on our cruise. And we're going to be visiting this forest. And it was the filming location for this movie. So we're going to watch that movie tonight, so that'll be interesting. I can't remember what it's called, but I'll post about it on Twitter after I watch it. So yeah, I'm trying to get my color swatch book open. This Chappie's pretty simple color scheme. She's just a black and tan dog, so I'll start with the lighter colors. So that's tan. Oh, Satuita is here too. Hello! Just got to this store. Oh, okay, so you're probably just going to be listening on your headphones. Oh, and Exie says it's already Saturday as usual. Yeah, that's so interesting because, no, I'll still be so far away from you, Exie. When I'm in Japan, that's still pretty far away. So far. The earth is so big. Okay, let me look real quick. Okay. I'm looking at my reference image of Chappie, and she has got some pretty light tan areas. So, maybe I'll start with... What about over here? Yeah, I think I like this E11 better than this E31, because the E31 is kind of yellow looking, but Chappie looks like a more red type of brown. So E11. So hold on for a sec. I'm going to go get my marker. Whoa, I just kicked my slipper across the floor. E11. E11. E stands for earth tones. I can't remember what the numbering scheme exactly means, but there's something to it too. Oh, nice. Exie says, today I finished the plant shelves. I varnished first coat. We'll finish it tomorrow. So I was thinking, I wanted to ask you, are these shelves that are going to be just freestanding, like on the ground? Or are you going to mount them on the wall? I was thinking about that. Imagining them. It was after I saw the picture. Did you post more pictures? I don't get to check Twitter every single day, so I haven't seen if you posted any, like... I don't know if I checked Twitter yesterday. Anyway, I've been imagining them. Oh, okay. Exie says, yeah, I posted today. Sweet. I'm going to look at it after I'm done with this stream. It's very interesting. They weren't exactly how I already told you on Twitter, but they weren't exactly how I imagined. So I'm excited to see what it's coming and then what the varnish is going to look like and stuff. It's very cool. Making stuff is cool. Of course, maybe I'm a little bit biased because I like making stuff myself, but I think that it's cool. Okay, I'm not going to do her whole body with brown, just the areas that have the little tan. Even though on her, in reality, there is a little bit of brown that shows up through the black fur, but for that doesn't, what am I trying to say? It doesn't have to be that accurate for a drawing. Her little feet are so cute. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. Lexi says, there are 4 legs and the shells are connected to the legs. It's like 3 tables on top of each other. So are they modular? Like you could remove them if you wanted? Like you could, or are they like nailed or stapled or whatever together? So it's like 3 tables, but is it, could you make it 3 tables if you wanted? Or is it basically just one big thing now? Now that it's pretty much all put together. Let's see, how far up? She's got these cute little spots on her cheeks. I've never had a black and tan dog before. Well, I mean, maybe my family German Shepherd was. But that was so long ago, I don't remember if he had this kind of, with these cute little brown spots on the cheeks and the brown spots on the. He probably did. Ah, it's so long ago though, I don't remember. Okay, and then the inside of her ears too. And this part is nice because I can just roughly color. I'll get more precise when I put the black fur, the color for the black fur. Because it'll just cover up any brown stuff that doesn't need to be there. Oh, it's one big thing. Yeah, me too. I love how dogs have dots as eyebrows. It's so cute. They are so cute. Even Aoife, who is mostly all, I think the color is called fawn. So she's almost all this like reddish brown. Underneath is more like a creamy brown. But she's almost all brown. But even Aoife, her muzzle is black. And then she also has the 2 little tiny black dots on her eyebrows. I bet they evolved that way because humans have always thought it was cute. So the cute dogs survived more than the not cute dogs. Of course not. I don't think all. I think pure white dogs and stuff. Yeah, because we had a pure white German Shepherd. And I remember her because she was pure white. And she was named Schnee, which is German for snow. She was a snow white doggy. She didn't have. But you can still see their eyebrows move, though. Even if they don't have, the muscles still make them go. Just as expressive as our own eyebrows. Okay, so I think I'm done with this brown. I even think I might only want to go 1 shade darker, at least for now. So... oh yeah, it is pretty. I mean, some of it is the photo itself, but I think that maybe I'll go 2 steps darker to this E15. So I also kind of want to hurry, so it would be sweet if I can get this done today. That said, I want to hurry, but I don't want to rush. So if it is going to end up taking 1 more session, that's okay. It's not the end of the world. Okay. This little inside part of the ear is definitely darker. I think some of that is just the shadow, rather than a change in the color of the fur, I mean. It's also nice on furry animals, when coloring like this, you can just do rough because it just adds to the texture of the fur. She doesn't have too much shadow underneath the eyebrows, but there is a little bit showing where the eyebrow, that part of the head is curving under a little bit. Okay, and then there's one right on the side of the muzzle. And another line here, and another line here. Trying to get in between these toes. Here where she's got her super strongy muscles. She's a little compact little warrior dog. She's so muscular. And then here is dark because her head is overshadowing. Okay, now I'm going to do another layer to sort of blend these, and also because markers are I'm not saying all my thoughts before they run through my head. Markers are like watercolor in that they dry lighter. So now I'm doing another layer to get more pigment on, now that I've seen how light it dried. So two purposes here. To get a little bit darker on this initial light color, and then to blend it with this darker color. Okay, now one more round with the darker one. Just looking for little spots that are very distinctly dark. Oh yeah, right here is very dark. This is why I like markers, because here just two colors and you can get this much variety just by layering and messing around with them. Since it's an illustration and not trying to be photorealistic, it's really fun because you can leave a lot of texture that's just from the strokes themselves. Okay, so I'm done with the browns for now. Oh wait, no. I want to do her eyes, and I'm just going to do them the same color. So first filling in with the light color all the way. And then the dark color, but leaving a little bit of the light to show, to make it, give it more depth and more lively, make it more lively too. Alive. Maybe not lively. Lively means like boisterous or something, but there we go. That's good enough. I'll probably bring in one more shade darker, or at least maybe I feel like I want a red, a more redder brown, but I'll leave that there for now. And Chappie does have a little bit of white on her, but I'm not going to leave the paper white. I will just use a gel pen at the end to get that white back in there. So I'm just going to go, yeah, this might be done really quick. I'm going to go to the grays. And these are definitely too cool, but Oh, I want warm gray or toner gray. In the photo, it's pretty blue. Like, there's a lot of blue on the top of her head, but that's because this is taken in my den, and the lights in there are very cool blue. I wish they weren't, though, because it gives me a headache after a while, but I'm keeping that in mind. But, nah, I'm going to go with warm gray. I like warm for animal fur. So I heard it's pretty much black, so I'm going to start really dark. Maybe with the... So I do want to keep some highlights. But it's still pretty dark. And then I can add really fine highlights with the gel pen at the end. So maybe... Yeah. I'll start with W5, warm gray 5, and do every other one. So I'll get the 5, the 7, the 9, and then I'll get a black. Which one is... There's two different blacks, and one of them is warmer than the other. So just regular black. There's black, and then there's special black. Special black, it seems a little bit cooler. Okay, so 5, 7, 9, and black. 100 is the number. 5, 7, 9, and 100. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so I'm looking at the reference image. And I think I will. I was considering whether I could save a little time by only coloring in certain areas with this lightest one, but I see her highlights are showing up everywhere, so I'll color in the whole body. Start with the tail. On to the smaller. Okay, so it's kind of like a triangle shape for these front patches, like on her. It's like her upper arm / chest. There, that's pretty good. And then it does come down only on the outside part of the forearm. Go. Oh, it's starting to look more like her already. I love that. It's like magical. Even though I'm the one drawing it, it still has a like magical feeling as it starts to come together, and I'm recognizing my subject as I draw it. Like, oh, it's almost as if I'm not doing anything. I'm just watching it happen. It's kind of the feeling that I get sometimes. Okay, go back to the big end for this. The head is the biggest area. And we'll start with the nosy. So the nosy is black too. And then we'll just go up. And we'll just go straight up. So there's no way to not get some little marks left over where dry marker is touching wet marker, and then there's a little line. So I'm just gonna make sure to work in the direction of the fur growth so that at least any lines there kind of just add to the texture instead of looking out of place. And I'm gonna leave the ears and switch back to the smaller end for the ears in a second. small end. It is. Oh, the magicalness? Is that, because there's always a delay in the chat. Is that what you're replying to? How it starts to look. It's like, whoa, it's just magically appearing. I've streamed for so long not having any audience, and so just like streaming by myself and nobody's watching, and so I'm just talking to myself for so long that I've gotten into the habit of I just say whatever I'm thinking and I explain what I'm doing, but I cannot, like, it just goes straight out, like I don't remember what I myself said. So, I don't know, that'll get better now that I've got a few people who watch, or if that's just how it's gonna be, but this is all part of the streaming experience. So Chappie, I think it's really cute on her, the fur on her toes, so she's got her nails, but then there's a little bit of black stripe coming up on the fur too, as if the nails, makes the nails look even longer than they actually are. So I'm going to do a little tiny little bloop to kind of reflect that, because I always thought that was a cute thing about Chappie's fur. Oh, Satuita says, done with produce. This cookbook author wasn't kidding. Most of the shopping is produce. That's good, though. Produce is good for you. It's healthy. And, I don't know. I think it makes stuff more interesting when you get, like, a whole bunch of different... Like, say for salads, for example, like a garden, like a green garden salad. It's just lettuce with some dressing and croutons. Kind of boring, but you got lettuce and like bell peppers, radishes. Maybe you put some cabbage in too, and then you can put in like carrots or whatever. And sometimes you could put in some fruit, like pineapple or something, and then you could put the same croutons and the same dressing on, and yet it's like a completely different, way more satisfying thing. You're welcome. I'm glad to hear that, because I understand that. I mean, yeah, I've got still a little bit of social anxiety stuff, so I also... Satoisa said, thanks for streaming while I shop. Haha, it's much more relaxing. Yeah, it's like I totally empathize. Totally empathize with this. Like I don't want to go out. Okay, so I'm moving on to the W7, Warm Gray 7. And this is where I need to be a little more careful so that I'm leaving, because the whole point of starting with the W5 was so that I could leave it and then it will look like highlights by not coloring it all in. Okay, I'm gonna focus on her body first and then I'll do the face. And the cool thing is you don't have to get it all exactly perfect either to get that highlight effect. If it's just an approximation, it's still usually good enough. And you're doing lots of little hatching in the same direction as the fur on these legs, because you can see lots and lots of that like white fur and brown fur poking through. And then her tail, I gotta guess a little bit because it's all blurry in the picture. Okay, that's good enough for now. I might go over it with this one again, or definitely will add a little bit more with the next level of dark marker. And this is where her face gets really interesting, because it's the highlights and shadows alone showing all of this definition in the structure of her face. It's almost like there's a fleur-de-lis blooming on her head here. I'll do my best to capture it. And then she's got some lines coming down, and then on this side it's much darker. It's almost completely, it's pretty much completely black down here on this side of her face. Since it's a chibi, I also need to simplify a little bit. So that's just another thing that I'm trying to keep in mind. That's something nice about markers, because they are not, you know, once you make a mark, that's that. Whether it was the mark that you wanted to make, or whether it looks the way you thought it would or not, it's there. So you just gotta move on. It's actually really nice. Okay, the back of her head is darker. It's getting more and more Chappie-like. I can't wait to put the highlights on her eyeballs, because she still looks very dozy. Here, hold it up. She looks like her, like in the photo, she's like all wagging her tail and she's very active, even though it's a still photo. But with this, the way I did the line of black across, it looks like her eyes are closed, even though they're still an open shape. That'll change once I add that highlight on there. Okay. Well, I'll do a tiny bit. Tiny bit. Just a little texture on the nosy. Okay. Next color, W9. So this is the darkest one I'm going to use of the warm grays, but I've got this actual black marker to go to for the darkest stuff. Oh, yay! I'm glad to hear it. Exie says, I love the shading so far. Yay! This is such good practice, too, because then I can use this for any other kind of drawing if I don't have a reference image. I still have a sort of idea about how the light could hit these shapes. And I could make something up from my imagination that, even if it's not perfectly accurate, could still be recognized as what I'm trying to describe visually. Boop, boop, boop. Putting the color on her toe beans is so fun. Boop. It's just a single little dot. Okay, I think I did all the body. Maybe I'll do just a tiny bit more on the back. So I did over there. Okay, back to the nosy. over here, so it's like super dark. And right here. I keep pausing to look over at the reference image so that I don't accidentally do a little too much or get off track of what is actually happening in the reference versus what I start doing without thinking on the page. It doesn't have to be 100% accurate, but it does help to just keep looking and it's like instead of making one long decision, keep making little small decisions as you're working. It's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. Okay, I'm going to move to the black, and then I think I will go back to this W5 to blend and then get another layer of light, the lightest color of black, or black fur, the lightest shade of the black fur. Let's start with the nosy. Oh yeah, this really helps. Having this really dark level. Here, these lines around her eyes are surprisingly dark. I never really noticed them before. I think it's just like the Sherlock Holmes, I can't remember exactly how the quote goes, but it's like, you see, but you do not observe. And then he's talking to Watson, and he's like, how many times have you gone up and down the stairs in our apartments? And he's like, hundreds of times. And then Holmes is like, well then, how many steps are there? He's like, I don't know. But Holmes knows because he observed instead of just seeing. And so, yeah, that's what's happening with me with these. Like, of course I've seen these in her face every single day, but I did not notice them, did not observe them. These lines around her eyes until drawing them. You see, but you do not observe. Yay. Okay. How are we for time? Oh, only halfway done. So I think we'll have plenty of time because I always like to go with, do a little colored pencil as well. Okay, so like I said, I'm going back to the lightest shade of warm gray that we're using. And then going to add some more for texture and for a more subtle transition between all these grays. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you go ahead. Go to bed. I wish you sweet dreams. Actually says, feel like it's time for sleep. Thank you so much for the stream. You're welcome. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully I'll see you on Twitter. Will there be any stream on Monday? Nope. No stream for 4 weeks. I think I updated my vacation schedule so that it shows it accurately on my Twitch page. But, yep. At the very least for the next 3 weeks, like if somehow I'm not suffering from jet lag on my week back, then maybe I'll stream, but I have a feeling it's not going to be so easy. So, but I'll be around on Twitter, so you can always chat with me there if you have any questions or something. So thank you for joining. I'm so glad that I could chat with you on my last day before I leave on my adventure. Oh, thank you. Exie says, have a nice vacation. Thank you. Bye. My favorite Wingo is leaving. I love that. Little Wingo. Man, one of these days, I want to make my own little... what are those even called? I don't know. I can't remember technically what the word is. Those little animated things. Alright, I think I've got it. I'm done with the layering of these lightest. Oh, it is looking pretty good. I'm going to hold it up, not just so that everybody else can see, but so I can see on my little video, on my OBS video, because it does help. I don't know if it's focusing though. There we go, it wasn't focusing. But it does help me to see how accurate it looks. I think I want to add a little bit more of this W7 as well, which is the second darkest shade. So I feel like it's still a bit too light, although there is a lot of light, especially on the top of her head, because the light is just hitting it directly. I just want to make it a little bit darker. Over here is a little too bright. Oh yeah, and this cheek doesn't, the brown of her cheek shouldn't be touching. So I'll bring that down, and then I'll bring this down to match how high up this one is going. There. I think that's probably good enough. Let us look at it again. Close up. Oh yeah. Much better. Last thing I'll do. Not ever, but for these little fur fine-tuning, alliteration, fur fine-tuning, is darken that space on her forehead. Is just such a dark little, it's like a little Christmas tree shape or something. I really want to capture it. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, I'm done with those. I do want to, now that I've gotten this much variety of shading in the grays, I'm gonna go back and get at least one more earth tone. I'm feeling one of these redder colors, but it looks like a little bit too much maybe. Because that's pretty extreme. I don't know, maybe in her ears it's like that. What about a pink? Nah, I'll just go to the more yellow earth tones. Looks more and more like a puppy, says Satuita. Yay! It's always makes such a big difference adding the color. I mean, of course, I didn't add very much detail with the ink, but it's so different. I'm deciding. Oh, maybe this E39 would be good. Okay, I'm gonna try that E39. 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 Okay. As if nothing else, I wanted to add a little bit more dark to the insides of her ears and to her eyes to make her eyes more interesting. And I guess more accurate, but... Oh yeah, that's so much better. It was looking very flat. And it has, suddenly gets so much more depth. So what I'm seeing in her eyes is this side is darker than this side. In anime eyes, they're usually the same no matter what the lighting is. Unless it's like a really good movie, like a really well animated movie. But so I want to reflect what I'm seeing in the reference photo, which is that not only this side of the face, but the eye as well is darker because there's more shadow. So I'm gonna go for a sec back to this middle color that we're using to help make it a smoother transition. Okay, I'm going to go to this light color one more time too. Ooh, I love it. Here, hold the eyes up. Looks so good, actually. I feel like showing that one eye is lighter than the other eye. Okay. Back to this E39, which is the darkest earth tone we're using. There are a few more places where I want to add a little bit more. Wow, it sounds like it's really windy outside right now. Suddenly there's this big woo. It's been windy since last night. It suddenly got crazy windy. Of course, that happened right when I was getting ready to go walk the dogs. So we just did a little short walk because not only that, it got windy, and then as soon as we were stepping outside, it started snowing. So it was like a crazy blizzard with so much wind and snow, and like, I'm not going to do we normally do like about half an hour to 45-minute walks, and we're like, no way. Just going to do a little down to the end and back, like a 20-minute walk. It was too much. And the dogs were all crazy in it too. Like, they were like, whoa, what is going on? Like jumping at shadows and stuff. Ooh, I think I'm pretty happy with this. It's like very nice. I think I'm done with the marker. So now let's get out some colored pencils. Move this. Whoa, I almost dropped it. Move my swatch book back where it goes. Get it out of the way, and I guess I'll just get my small set of colored pencils because there's not that much going on here as far as color goes, so I don't think I need my like twice as big set. Whoop. And for anybody watching who has never seen me get my colored pencils out, this is a piece of gaff tape, and it is so handy for keeping this closed when I'm moving it around, because I've had it happen before. We're moving this around and then something happens, like I drop it or something, and then the colored pencils go flying around everywhere. The only thing is you got to be careful to like not get your paper on this tape, but other than that, it's so nice because you can keep taking it off and putting it back on. Since this is metal, I wouldn't do it on like a cardboard pencil case or something because it would just rip the paper off. But okay, so I'm thinking about where do I want to use white gel pen to do highlights, and where do I want to use like a white colored pencil. And I think on the fur I'll use white colored pencil, because even though there's pretty strong highlights, it's still not like, it's not like when you look in the eyes and there's these just dots of white. So I guess I'm gonna sharpen this a little bit. It's pretty sharp already, but I want it to be like really super, I want a really super fine tip on it. There, that's better. There, much sharper. I might sharpen it again too if it gets too dull as I'm doing this, but yeah, this is what I wanted. This looks good. I'm gonna do a little bit of highlight on the toe beans. There's some on her tail too. And then her ears, is surprisingly, there's not very much highlight. And on the reference image, you can see a highlight on the edge, but that's because it's against her body. With the Chibi, it's really big, and I'm just going to do both ears the way the left ear looks to me, which is no highlight on the edge. But there is a little bit you can see here where the ear attaches to the head. And then, of course, tons and tons and tons of bright highlights on her head from the light coming from directly above. And then underneath her eyes, because it's like moist, I guess is the word, because her eyes are not dry. So here we go. And then some on the nosy too. And right here where the fur ends and the nose, that tough skin on the nose starts. Heck yeah, you got this. Saltwita says just bread and non-dairy sour cream and I'm done. Yay. Good job getting that shopping done. I hate shopping, which is weird. You think like, oh, everybody loves to go shopping. Shopping is so fun. No. I don't even like shopping online. I don't like looking through, and it's so much decision making. Like, okay, here, which one do I get? Do I get the cheaper one? Do I get the one with better reviews? Or can I find one that's like kind of in the middle of good review and good price? And what about this one? It has no reviews, but it looks good from the description, but you can never quite trust that. Or, you know, and then it's just like this never-ending labyrinth of decision making. Maybe I shouldn't talk about that because I don't want to give you anxiety while you're finishing your shopping. Talking about what it's terrible. Oh, she's looking real good, I think. This little Chappie girl. She's in here too. She's sleeping. She's curled up to my my right. And Aoife's in here too, to the left. And there's 2 dog beds in here I got for them. And let's see, there's a little bit of white. Like, it almost looks like actual, and it may be actual white fur. Here's like some highlights. And this is like really light tan fur, so we'll add some white to bring that out. Hope I remember in the future to keep putting my reference image up, at least for ones like this where I'm using just a single reference image and making an exact like replica or whatever, because it's so much easier to explain when it's also on the screen. So I don't have to visually explain everything. Oh, yeah, that sucks too. Saltwita says, it's the people who form clots that frustrate me, lol. Yeah, like, come on, man. Don't be all gathering around and, like, obstructing the way. Like, everybody get onto one side, okay, so that there can still be some flow. Sometimes you can't help it, though, because, like, one person and a completely unrelated person are shopping on the same aisle, the same thing, and, like, you can't help it. But a lot of the time, it's somebody who's got their cart, and they have the cart going down this way, and then they're like, oh, I need this thing on this side of the aisle, and then so they leave their cart here, that they go right here, and then the whole thing is blocked. Like, no, please. Please don't block the way. Okay. I'm feeling satisfied with the white colored pencil. I do want to, I think I'm going to take this brown, it says it's Tuscan red, and do a little bit extra in the ears. really help get that depth to show that the ear is not this flat thing, but it's like a curved thing that goes down into the head even. Try to get that idea by adding a little bit more shading with colored pencil, more precise shading. Yeah, I think that's good. Oh, actually, I want to keep these out because when I take the picture later to post it on social media, I want to show which items I used. Okay. I'm so close to done, and I want to do my white gel pen, but I don't want to forget my favorite thing, which is to add a little purple to the shaded areas just because it makes it look cool. Now, I'm not sure if I should use this purple or use this darker one. I think maybe I'll use both. Because on her black fur, this one might be a little too dark. I'm going to sharpen this one. It's pretty dull. This darker purple, I think it's just plain old violet. Yeah, this is plain old violet. Okay. Sharpening into my trash can off screen. Okay, so for the areas of black fur, I'll use this true violet. Yeah, it brings it to life in an illustrative way, or like a visual art way or something. I love it. I love seeing that. It's like just adds this crazy depth. And it's not there in real life. There's not purple on her in real life, but just adding it. Okay, so I added that to the dark areas. Now, a little of this light. What is this one called? Oh, Perma Violet. Parma? It's hard to read because it's gold lettering. Oh, there's a little piece of sharpened colored pencil on me. Oh, it's still on me, dang it. It's like a little piece of confetti. Get off. It keeps jumping from finger to finger. Alright, whatever. Even if it's still on me, then I'm... Oh, I got it. Okay. Yay, good job! You're almost done! So Teresa says, yay, at the checkout. At the checkout, almost done. And then you can enjoy the food. Yum, yum. I'm getting hungry, too. It's getting close to my dinner time. Dinner time! We're having vegan pasta primavera. Can't wait. Can't wait. And I've got this hazelnut chocolate bar, also vegan. And we've been saving it because it's a very high calorie. It's 5 servings per bar. So I've been saving it. I'm finally going to have it today. I'm really looking forward to trying it. It's not Nutella brand, but it's basically a Nutella bar. And it's got whole hazelnuts in it too, so really looking forward to dinner and dessert. And we're gonna watch that Korean movie where we're going to be, that was filmed in the place where we're going to be for our visit to Korea. Wait, no. I was gonna put purple in the eyes, but then I remembered I need to not, because the gel pen white does not play well with the colored pencil, so I don't want to mess up the gel pen white, because this is going to be the little cherry on top. So first I will add a little gel pen white to this shiny area at the base of the where the fur ends and the nose begins. And then a little bit on her fingernails. I'm not actually seeing that much in the reference image, but I like to do it anyway just because I know it's a fairly reflective thing, the puppy toenails, so. Okay, now it's finally time to make her not look like she's kind of dopey. This is gonna open her eyes up. There we go. And I think I'll use a little artistic license and add some extra. Because this is still an anime style. So I'm gonna go anime style with it and add. Oh yes, that's so much better. It's so much better. Add some little extra highlights. Make them extra shiny. Oh my goodness, there's my little baby girl. Here's my little baby puppy. I haven't signed it yet, but she's done. There she is, little Chappie. Oh yeah, even in the camera, the purple colored pencil and the putting that into the shadows looks so cool. There's her little shiny toenails. And there, this is what I've been waiting for. Opening up her eyes by putting the shinies in there to show that they're not half closed eyes. It's just that that's how the shadows are working. And then there's her tail and everything, and the ears. Put a lot of effort into the ears. I really wanted to get those. So let me sign this real quick, and then we can call it a day. It's perfect timing. We're only 3 minutes over my normal streaming schedule. Oh, I want to look at my... I'm trying to make this kind of the same. Okay, I was just doing 23. I was looking over there. I still have my pigeon chibis that I did over the past month or two. I wanted to sign it the same way because sometimes I write the full year and sometimes I just write a little line and then the 2-3. And it looks like I just did the 2-3 on those pigeons as well. Yay! Whoops, I got it underneath the reference photo. Oh yeah, you can't see all my cool stuff. All the cool stuff I used. There. Okay. Well, that's it. So Satuija is probably checking out right now. About to leave the craziness of the grocery store. And I am about to check out as well in a different way. That's it for this Chibi Friday, which was actually my 50th Chibi Friday. I didn't mention that before, so that's pretty cool. Wow. That's a lot. So yeah, I am going on vacation, cruise around Japan. I'm so excited! I'll be gone for 3 weeks, and then I figure I'll need the last week after that for like recovery. Coming back from where it's daytime when it's nighttime here and whatever. So I'll be gone. I won't be streaming for the next 4 weeks. So I'll be back in April, mid-April. Be back with my normal streaming schedule. But I'll also be on Twitter, and so if anybody for some reason really needs to get a hold of me, just go find Studio Mikarts on Twitter. Alright, that's it for now. Thank you for watching.